Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, where today we have some decisions to make. We have 12,000 gold, and nobody who is, desperately begging for our military intervention against them, so we have to decide on some directions here. Let's start with the money. Let's figure out this money. So we need to be pushing forward toward bigger, better dinosaur buildings. Where did I build that Shrine of the Old Ones? Here we go. Okay, in 2 turns we'll be able to upgrade our Shrine of the Old Ones to a temple and get ourselves some Bastillodons with solar engines on their back. I'm very excited about this. We really don't have a lot of good long-range weapons in the Lizardman army, but this is something I've been looking forward to. So I guess we can't do that until this is done upgrading. It's going to be 6,000 gold, which honestly is not even that much. We're back up to making about 3k a turn. We're almost at a point where we can start thinking about a third army. What else do we need to build? Okay, so this will get us more dinosaurs. Ancient Stegodons, an Ancient Stegodon with an Engine of the Gods, and more Feral Carnosaurs. It feels to me like we got to build a Beast Lair. That seems like an important thing to do. Do we want to build it down here in Sudenburg? Obviously, it's better for your recruitment buildings, especially recruitment buildings for units that are going to take a long time to recruit, like several turns, to be on the front. When you use the global recruitment pool, remember, it doubles the recruitment time for any unit that you bring in through it, so those big dinosaurs will be like 4 or 6 turns of standing around in recruitment mode. So I guess I'm going to try to build that in Al-Haik after we get it up to tier 4, which means we're definitely going to wait 5 turns until we can upgrade this rather than upgrading Phyrus. And then we have a lot of settlements over here that we need to think about. We have to get these minor settlements up to level 3 and get walls up. We're working on Lashiek, we're working on the Sorcerer's Islands. We don't really need there to be a Pterodon hatchery here. I don't think this is helping us at all. Because we're not going to be recruiting in this province, probably, right? Let's remove this. We can put up a growth building here instead to help this place advance. I know, I'm very crazy about growth buildings, but I want to get all of our stuff maxed out and have access to all of our building slots. Now that we control the areas around, I'm not sure that we need the wall on Bel Aliad anymore. We could get ourselves a building slot there. There's a school of thought that says you ought to have walls on all of your minor settlements, because if you don't, even minor settlements that are internal to your empire, like Tiktaq'to, are potentially in danger, and you'll sometimes see enemies run past a lot of your stuff to get to a walled settlement, even if theoretically they should not know that it is there because they can't see it. But I sometimes like to have unwalled settlements in the middle of the empire, like right behind the recruitment settlement, because it does draw enemies in like that. So I think we actually are going to get rid of these. I think the expanded garrison here did serve a purpose, but now we are done with it. And demolishing it, I should note, does also give us back a little bit of the money that we spent on it. So here, I think we can go ahead and level Al-Kalabad up to level 3. We don't really need to save much. In 2 turns, when we want to pay the 6,000 for that dino building, by then we will have generated 5,600. So it looks like we're not really in a place where we need to build anything hugely important right now. If we do this upgrade, we'll have access to recruiting an ancient salamander, which I'm assuming is just one really big salamander in a unit. But again, this is like distance recruiting a thing that's going to take that long. I wonder if we maybe don't want to bother upgrading the salamander enclosure. We'll just get one of these going closer to the front. Tiktaq'to doesn't really have a lot of important stuff. Let's just upgrade a bunch of financial buildings, I guess. While we have this money, we'll roll it into more money. Does anybody else have a financial building that could be upgraded? Oh, we have a port over here. Let's upgrade the port. There we go. Just roll all that money into making more money. Okay. Then we need to keep trying to meet people. We got to keep figuring out what's going on out in the world beyond our borders. My understanding of the lore is that lizardman societies are famously insular, but that is how you get killed by a bunch of rats in the jungle without anybody ever knowing what happened to you. Okay, hold on. Before we talk about our armies, let's talk about our other agent here. So we just survived an assassination attempt, and because we did that, we are on guard. He is even less likely to succeed on this this coming turn. Let's figure out exactly how far we would have to run. I guess, actually, let's start by figuring out, could I kill him? No, even if we undid some construction to get the money to pay for the assassination, we have a 16% chance of succeeding. He is level 21. This is a well-developed necromancer. So we run then. Where exactly is the golden tower? Okay, my camera is currently over it. Just mouse over the ground here. It's like, is it down here? This is Resetra. Hold on, I'm gonna move away. Oh, it's way further south than I thought. Like, okay, this counts as golden tower. I'm trying to find, like, the exact line. Okay. So we're just gonna run away from him and hope that the fact that we're on guard this turn means he won't even attempt another assassination. And then next turn we still won't be where we need to go. Well, maybe I've flown far enough. No, probably not. I was going to say maybe I've flown far enough away that I went into the fog of war and he can't chase us, but I can see him. We have extra campaign line of sight, I believe. Don't we? From a buff or something? No, did that expire? Okay, never mind. If I can see him, he can see me. Well, we might just have this character get assassinated before he actually makes it to where he was going. I hope not, man. That would be really frustrating. Alright. What else was I doing? We have to raise or sack 2 settlements. I'm not a big fan of this quest. I don't want to raise or sack settlements. I want to occupy settlements. Alright, well, honestly, there's some chance I don't even bother doing this. Like, a Saurus warrior with a shield is not a thing that is rare or powerful enough for us to be going out of our way for it, even if they are unusually good ones of those. It's one thing for, like, a sweet giant dinosaur. It's quite another thing for just some dude with a shield. Alright, so what are we doing? We are trying to take over Khemri and the Black Pyramid of Nagash. Taking over Khemri is going to put us at war with a nation of some size that has multiple armies and that is kind of currently fighting our other enemies. I think we should let them do that. Let's make the Black Pyramid of Nagash our next target. Or I suppose we could go north. Because we do have to take Sartosa, don't we? Sartosa is 100% vampirically corrupted. Has a 20-unit garrison with real walls. What does the Black Pyramid look like? Oh, only a 17-unit garrison with real walls. Additionally, only 8 slots in this very important settlement. Well, let's go for it. I think this is what we want to do. So, we're going to get to dip through friendly territory here. I'm not going to bother recruiting. I know we have a unit of Temple Guard or something in the Regiment of Renown menu. I'm not going to bother with it just yet. There's some significant value in, I guess, taking over Khemri so that Xandri isn't quite so vulnerable. I don't know. Let's get this first, because this will be a quick little self-contained adventure. The Sentinels don't have any other... That's not the button I wanted. Here we go. The Sentinels don't have any other territories, right? Like, when I take this, they'll just be eliminated. Where in the hell? Kings. Yes, okay. Hold on, did we negotiate... Court of Liberis seems to like us quite a bit. Did we negotiate with them at all? We did not. Okay, let's take military access as well. Oh. Weird. Sorry, are you a venomous zombie? That's strange. Was she venomous in life? Will she pay us? She seems to be way into this. Like, what if I also ask for money? Okay, she's less into that. It might just be that was too much money. If we get some money, it looks like she doesn't want to pay me. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, so now that we have a military access pact with them, we can walk through their territory without them getting mad, and vice versa. They are free to come over here and walk through our territory. I'd be totally fine with that. Hold on, did I see that we have... Yeah, we totally have the ability to have trade agreements with some of these nearby Khemri kingdoms. We should see if they're into it. It's only a little bit of extra gold per turn, but it's not nothing. And, you know, Numas, we're not going to attack them right away. Okay. I was going to say, if they want to give us 73 gold per turn for a few turns, and then we fight them, that seems fine to me. Yeah, man, look at this. Khemri with the 10 slots. That would be really, really nice to have. And it's in, like, a good aggressive position. We could build all kinds of recruitment buildings in that. Yeah, so actually, we might keep that skink building up in Zandri just because this is probably going to be a recruitment province, because that means we have a bunch of recruitment available here, and over here we have a nice front where we can build up armies against the rest of the world. The only downside of keeping the skink building up in Zandri is that in Zandri it could never be a level 4 building, which means we would never have the ability to recruit Kroxigors or ancient salamanders from it. But that's a problem we can worry about later. I'm kind of curious what's going on with the orcs and Numas. If this army from Numas gets defeated by orcs outside Gorgazan, that might be a good opportunity for us to go to Khemri because their local military strength will be reduced. And I think they only had 2 other settlements, right? And they were both to the east. So it wouldn't be... It probably would not be a huge, like, knockdown, drag-out forever war. Oh, they do have another army right there, though. It looks like they're just standing outside of that settlement and raiding, which is kind of weird. Marienburg was properly destroyed. That usually happens once they lose the city of Marienburg. So we still don't really know what's going on over here in the little corner of the map. We know that there's another lizard man over here. So there's a lizard man faction, like a real faction with a legendary lord and everything. Okay, good. That vampire is too busy to keep harassing us. And there's a Tomb King faction down here. And apparently a vampire faction, because we saw a vampire agent. I kind of assumed that this little, like, tiny corner of the world out of the way would be pretty quiet, but maybe I am wrong about that. Okay. Let's stay on our side of the line for the moment, but let's get right down here. His army is so much faster than Yarick's. Okay, so they have a lot of dudes. This is going to be a little bit like what happened to Archon the Black.
Submit to your king.
So this army's total garbage. This army at least has a couple units of Ushabti. Remember, if we come in here and we lightning strike, we will not be able to use a reinforcement army ourselves either, so Tiktaq'to is going to have to get through the 2 external armies, and then these 2 armies together can take the Black Pyramid. I think we should be able to pull that off. Let me see what's in the garrison exactly. Ooh, they do have a couple of War Sphinxes. That's dangerous. We're going to have so many flying units, though. Alright, where are we at on... We have no recruitment structures at all in this area. I mean, we could get another Skink Priest, I guess. We want to make sure that we have about 3,000 gold when the turn ends. So what do I want more? Do I want to see what's going on the mainland, or do I want to see what's happening on Elfland? Up here is almost certainly just going to be either all Skaven or all Dark Elves. I don't think I care that much about that. Let's head south and try to get an eye on the rest of Ulthuan. I'm also pretty curious what happened over here in this area. Because this is where Hexoatl, or somewhere around here, maybe down here, is where Hexoatl, one of the other major Lizardman factions, spawns. And they are out of the game already, so something happened to them. Alright, do we want to do anything with, like, this area? We can afford to upgrade Sorcerer's Islands, right? No, we cannot. It is totally over 3,000 gold. Okay, we probably just don't spend a lot of money this turn, just so that we are absolutely certain we are ready to start our important upgrades next turn. Can we actually see anything over here? Some orcs down there. We have encountered the faction of Tiktaq'to. They do not really care for us. They don't like the Court of Liberis. In fact, they're at war. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to bother trying to negotiate anything with them. I think they're a minor faction that might not be long for this world, like Resetra might have been theirs at some point, maybe. Or you know what? This might just be a Skaven settlement. We could actually have our hero check that out after he makes it across the border into the Golden Tower. So I think we're not going to spend any money this turn. I think we are just going to move on here. That's right. If we save up to 12,000, we could get a huge, terrifying dinosaur army. We have that ability. I'm not gonna let our infrastructure development suffer right now, but that's the thing worth remembering. We'd only have to save up for like 4 turns. And a huge, terrifying dinosaur army does sound like a fun toy. I would basically just like run it directly at one of our enemies, and because there's no way I can afford to pay for all those dinosaurs for very long. But that might be like, who knows? Maybe that's a good way to open the war with Numos. Just get all of the dinosaurs in the world and rush them east. We take Khemri with our real armies while the dinosaurs head over to Maraud. Maybe if the dinosaurs could find settlements that don't have walls on them, I bet that army would be pretty effective. Walled settlements against a wave of dinosaurs, I think, might actually do pretty well because we'd have to bottleneck real badly at the gates. Like we would be able to get through the gates quite easily. But depending on how they stacked up their guys behind the gates, we might have a hard time actually getting in. And if they can bottleneck us at the gates with like bows and spears and pikes and stuff, they presumably could actually kill. I mean, how many could they kill, really, though? Those spearmen would get tired. The bows will run out of ammunition at some point. This is interesting. I feel a little bit bad about wanting to take Khemri off of Numos. Like, we need to have a 10 slot settlement, right? That's super good. But I almost want to just make friends with them because they're so into messing with everybody that we don't like. Unfortunately, there is no way to get a player to trade you settlements. That is just not a thing that exists in the game. There's no version of this where we make friends with Numos and we negotiate for Khemri. And honestly, even if it was possible to make friends with them and negotiate for settlements, why would they give up Khemri? The whole reason we want it is that it is so wonderful and effective. The mystical Slan Mage Priests have devised a new ritual to... yeah, okay, we've seen this before. Charge bonus and speed up for a little bit of vampiric corruption for 6 turns. I am still absolutely into it. I think that is totally fine. We're doing really well on public order and everything, everywhere except for the Land of the Dead, which is because we only have half of it. So we can definitely afford a little bit of corruption and the concomitant loss of public order. By the way, I haven't talked about this much, but... our Blade of the Ancient Skies that Tiktaq'to got to start with has been giving +3 public order to all of our provinces for the entire game, and that is definitely part of why our conquest has gone so easy. With a lot of other faction leaders, we would have had to spend a lot more effort, like keeping people in our new settlements to keep their public order up until we can get things established. But Tiktaq'to has a very, very aggressive playstyle, which I like a lot, actually. Alright. I think we can actually do this now. And we're going to make it across the border in this move. Yeah, there almost have to be Skaven down here. This number of settlements just left empty, that doesn't seem realistic. Alright, well, we got ourselves 1,000 gold, and... okay, this is probably the last step of it then. After a considerable amount of searching high and low across Lustria, Lord Croak's skink scouts finally locate the overgrown temple tomb in which the ancient relic priest is meditating, as ever, upon the fine details of the great plan. However, in their haste, it would appear that the scouts were somewhat careless, as they have been followed to Croak's location by a force of those insidious ratmen, the Skaven. They plan to destroy him once and for all by incinerating his physical remains that anchor him to the world. This must not come to pass. Defend Croak from harm whilst his priests awaken him. Now, enemy forces a pretty irrelevant, weak little army that is going to have a lot of reinforcements. This is a quest we couldn't even get until we were like level 15, right? Basically, I'm trying to figure out like how difficult do I think this battle's going to end up being. Let's go back to our armies here. Do we maybe want to try... I'm thinking let's merge all of the blessed units and the regiments of renown and stuff into a single army. Let's set these armies back into normal movement mode just so that nobody goes over. Okay. I want you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And I'm going to have to put 5 units back. So, like, these skinks are a little bit on the weak side. I still want some poison delivery, but I think we can probably get these 3 out of there. So if I do this, I'm trading out 2 melee units for 2 better melee units, and 3 bad ranged units for 3 better ranged units. I think that's a pretty good move that doesn't affect our... Oh, you know what? I should give him 1 more unit. Let's give him another... Do I want to give him another unit of skinks, or do I want to give him... Or, like, red-crested skinks or chameleon skinks? I think I want to keep these guys around for the poison. Because we have a regiment of renown that we can pull. These Star Chamber Guardians. What is their deal? Unfortunately, we don't have any normal Temple Guard to compare them to. They're armored and shielded. Oh, they are very heavily armored, in fact. And they have the worst quality of shield, but still, it's pretty good. Their attack is magical, which is neat. That means they bypass physical resistance. You might intuitively think that this would allow them to bypass armor as well, but that is not how it works in this game. Armor works against pretty much everything. We have mostly armor-piercing damage with a considerable bonus versus large. Only acts on targets in area. Target if unit is a lord or hero. Oh, okay. They give 18% physical resistance to lords and heroes that are within 30 meters of them. That's pretty cool, actually. They have the ability to hide in forests, expert charge defense, and... Okay, resilience. And predatory senses. Natural hunters that can sense prey hiding nearby. Oh, I think this makes them reveal hidden units from further away. So that seems pretty good. And then is this a lineup that I feel comfortable going into a difficult quest battle with? Probably, right? Like all of these units have proven themselves in battle. I think we're pretty powerful. Let's give that quest battle a try. The Black Pyramid and Nagash might have to wait a turn or two as we recover from this, but if we can go at them with Lord Croak, that seems like a thing we ought to do. So teleporting to this quest battle costs us 500 gold. I think we can handle that. Just trying to figure out, is there anything I want to do first? Is there anything that would be meaningful? No, none of our rights affect our actual combat prowess. We could fire off the Rite of Ferocity to try to get more loot from the battle, I guess. If I think we're likely to lose units, and thus have to recruit more units, I would probably want to perform the rite before doing the recruitment, and if I think that I'm going to do that, then it makes sense to do it before the battle so that we get extra loot from the battle as well. How much money do we have? We have enough money to run this and still do the upgrade even if we fail the battle. Oh no, that's not true, because it'll cost us 500 gold to teleport to the battle. Alright, let's not do it then. Just in case we do fail the quest battle. We have no idea how hard this is going to be. Okay, Balance of Power Bar has us slightly favored here. I assume that it's considering the full forces of the actual battle, because against an army like this, we should be massively, overwhelmingly favored. And do we want to move our banners around? We have 2, right? Who has the charge bonus? Oh, yeah, he can keep it. Actually, should he have it? Maybe we should give it to the cold ones. I'm just thinking that, like, if he rampages... Do these guys rampage? They don't. The Regiment of Renown version doesn't. Yeah, I'm going to give it to them, actually. Because he might rampage and get stuck in against people and then not get his charge bonus again because he's just standing still and fighting. Alright, let's do it. I have no idea what to expect here, but we're pretty good at fighting Skaven. We have been shown to be pretty good at fighting Skaven in the past, and we have a much more powerful army now than we did then, including this Blessed Stegodon, which I have to imagine is pretty good against hordes of small units. There are few potential proponents of the Lizardman cause more powerful than the vulnerable Lord Croak, deliverer of Itza, said to have been taught in the ways of the winds of magic by the old one known as Tiktaq'to. Stoking of Croak's relics into an active state will likely have a profound effect on the fulfillment of the Great Plan. Currently existing as a shriveled and lifeless husk, mummified in wrappings, some vestige of power still resides in him. Still. That's awkwardly written. A distant echo of former glory, yet strength enough to unleash destruction upon his enemies. To be fair, they probably don't look at that text very many times. I bet that gets one edit pass at most. Alright, what do we got?
Lord Croak will be an invaluable ally in the fulfillment of the Great Plan, but his worldly relics are in imminent danger.
Is that him up there on the
Skaven approach,
wall?
Master of Skies. Prepare yourself. While Croak's force field provides him with some protection, the awakening process leaves him vulnerable to attack. It is imperative that you defend him until he has fully risen from his slumber.
Okay, is this actually going to be a timed thing, or is it like, do we have to kill a certain number of enemies, maybe? They said defend him until he has risen from his slumber. Okay, so they have a unit of Plague Monks, which we have to worry about a little bit. Plague Monks are pretty good melee fighters. They're very soft, though. They don't wear armor at all. And then they got some Slingers, and I saw on the initial screen that there are some Night Runners here, too. We can't see them because they're stealthy. How do we want to set up for this battle? First of all, what is the fire range? Ooh, the fire range of that Blessed Stegodon is considerable. Okay, well, I think he can probably pretty much just be where he is. Do I maybe want to... We could move him forward and try to get the edge of this up against the pillars, so as soon as they come through. That's probably worth doing. We can move him forward a little bit. I assume the skinks on his back can fire while he is moving, but probably his big weapon cannot. That is not... Right, that button does not show you more stuff. Okay, he has not that much ammo, but perfect vigor. Alright, and then we want to move people up to keep him safe. I mean, the Carnosaur hanging out by him is kind of a no-brainer. The Chameleon Skinks being... Oh, wait, where's my... These guys. These guys should definitely be beside him. Do we want them on opposite? I don't know. It probably doesn't matter too much. Let's not stress about it too much. We'll put the Carnosaur over here to defend his flank. And then the rest of us kind of just, like, wait behind the dinosaurs, right? We get all three of our ground melee units over here, ready to charge. And then the flyers, and we can fly forward and harass a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it's a good idea, actually, given that they have night dudes and everything. Maybe the flyers stay back, we let them come to us. I don't know what I want to do with you guys. Yeah, let's just let it run here a little bit. Get all the flying units, keep them sort of safe and in the center. We have lots of rocks, but I'm a little nervous about using any of them just yet, because obviously this is a multiple wave battle, and we have no idea how long it's going to take for that to, for the waves to play out. I'm just trying to figure out where the edge of our firing range is. I'm not going to stress about it too much. It's good enough. Let's actually see this guy in action. He's been in a battle or two that we've had on camera, but we've never really gotten to see him do the thing. Oh, I see. There's a big ballista mounted on him. How close are we to... Oh, I think it's just about time. I wonder how obvious that projectile will be. Pretty obvious. Okay, that's not great. It's probably better against, like, single large enemies. It probably kills whatever little Skaven it hits, but it's not super relevant here. So maybe I actually want him to stop firing then. He has limited ammunition. Let's save it for something that matters. I guess let's try sending in the flyers. I'm worried about the Night Runners. I don't want to let any of the flyers... Was it 2 units of Night Runners? Let's start moving forward. We'll see if we can... find them. Okay, so it's 2 units of gutter runner slingers and 2 units of... They're all slingers. It's kind of weird that that's how they're titled. But those ones have poison projectiles. So those ones we care about the most. And then... do we want to move forward? Like, I'm a little worried about... even with these being the worst ranged unit in the game, probably, it's hard to imagine that I want to take fire from over 300 enemies. So, like, sending somebody forward to attack their lord, probably not that wise. But we can probably stick to this side. Have these guys that. See if we can take out some of the more dangerous ranged units quickly. Especially if they're going to guide our explosive projectiles back into their drows. Let's see if we can get a good rock drop off. We don't want to use all of our rocks here, but we could use a rock or two. They ran back into this much denser group. That's a pretty good start. Okay, let's do a rock drop on the plague monks. Are we close enough? Okay, we're just about to get salamandered. Yeah, we sort of broke them up, but honestly, I don't know that I'm getting a lot of value out of having these guys this far forward anymore. I'm gonna have the flyers fall back. I don't want to take a lot of damage just yet. Let's let the salamanders and everybody do their thing. Have the cold ones move out to the side a little bit. It's about to be charging time. Alright, Skaven Gracier. Okay, he hasn't actually approached yet. We'll have to have a look at what... a powerful host. To look at exactly what that entails in a moment here. But yeah, we're going to get ourselves a good, powerful charging flank. A lot of their ranged units went off to this side, probably chasing this one flying unit. So we could probably bring forward the Fire Leech Bolas over here and have them try to pop these guys. Or maybe I have the Plague Monks have them attack the Plague Monks and have... I'm going to put these guys on guard mode, which will prevent them from chasing targets. Try to bring down the ranged units on this side. We don't really have any spears over here, right? It's all swords. So I think we can probably move in the dinosaurs now. Those gutter runners are fast, and they would probably try to kite targets generally, but they're not getting away from the blessed Carnosaur. And then we can just start engaging. I think we can probably handle it on this side. We gotta remember that that unit of red-crested skinks is the one that has the Don't Die button. And I think this might be a good time to move our sources up in front of these guys. You guys out to the side. Okay. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of pausing in this battle. I'll just warn you right now. If I think the battle might be difficult at all. Alright, let's land a quick charge and we'll back out before we get too engaged in combat. But I want to get that initial charge off. Do you see some of the units that didn't actually hit enemy mass just went way forward? That can be very dangerous because it can be hard to get them back out. Like that, you see that guy's all bogged down. Alright, so they're getting poisoned. I think we got enough distance now that we can execute another charge on them. Oh, back up. I did forget briefly while I was ordering the charge that I had ordered units to throw a lot of explosives into those guys. So probably we gotta back off so that that doesn't become an issue. Alright, looks like we've temporarily broken the gutter runners. I'm gonna have the Carnosaur get in on the backside of these Skaven slingers, and we're just gonna have ourselves a little bit of a time with them. So their lord is all up in these guys. Tic-Tac-Toe, go over there and say howdy to him, please. So what exactly are we looking at over here? I see some banners a little higher up in the air. See, they got a doom bell. They have a what are these? A hell pit abomination, which is pretty much what it sounds like. That's a problem. I have a whole lot of storm vermin. So sword and shield storm vermin, I'm not particularly worried about. They're very tough, but they're pretty bad at fighting. Like, they're not going to kill anything. Halberd storm vermin, on the other hand, if you ever played Vermintide, you know what's up with these guys. These guys are a serious danger, especially to our dinosaurs. Their seer is coming in on one of these great bells, being constantly rung by a rat ogre. That's a thing I'm concerned about. We got some clan rats. Okay, on the whole, this isn't too bad. They have a couple units of rat ogres, which I'm not really that worried about. Our Temple Guard guys should be ridiculously effective against them. Okay, so this is what we've been saving up for, basically. But I'm a little worried. I doubt that's the end of it. I still think that we would be favored pretty heavily against an army like that. Alright, so it looks like we're breaking the gutter runners. When we actually finish breaking the gutter runners, we might want to turn the salamanders on the front row of guys over here while the Carnosaur hits them in the back. And I think I'm not going to have... How fast are you? Could you catch those guys if they ran away from you? 51 versus 54 for the gutter runners and 37. Okay, so we could have these guys just run in and hit the Skaven slaves. Somebody with more skill is going to have to kill the gutter runners. You know what? Let's just have the Carnosaur do that. The skinks can clean these guys up. And I'm saving up my Winds of Magic. I'm not casting anything just yet. We could have our skink chief roll forward and help with this guy, I guess. Alright, they've almost broken, and we didn't charge into too many explosions there. Let's have the Fire Leech Bola guys fall back, because we're probably going to want to save their bolaing for these new enemy units. Actually, you know what I would like for them to do is run up and fight some of the gutter runners over here somewhere. The gutter runner slingers are sneaky. They have the same icon as the Skaven slaves. That's a tricky maneuver. Okay, so the red-crested skinks are almost done with this already. What do I want you to do? Because I don't want you to run into the explosions. So you can go after those guys for right now. I don't fall too far out. We need to keep an eye on those approaching units. As soon as that Hell Pit Abomination is in range of the Stegodon, we're going to turn the Stegodon on him. I want to make sure that I don't commit too hard to a chase over here. Grey Seer's here, which means they have magic. I actually really like the red-crested skinks. I'm not saying that I necessarily think they're better units than Saurus Warriors, but they are way better at killing stuff than Saurus Warriors are, and there's something to be said for that. Let's have these guys make sure they chase the Plague Monks off the map. They really have taken a lot of damage already. And Plague Monks are dangerous. They're scary units. If we could kill this Lord, that would probably be pretty good for us. I'll let you guys keep pursuing here for the moment. Remember, these are the guys who have enough ammo that they aren't constantly running out. Right, I'm going to have the skinks fall back now. I'm also going to have you guys stop firing. That's just an ammo concern. Okay, we have our two heroic dudes fighting as best they can fight. I'd really love it if that Lord was dead. Chase those Plague Monks off the map, just make sure they don't recover and hit us in the side. They're almost past the towers. Okay. Over here. And the Carnosaur. Get out of there before he rampages and gets trapped. you are absolutely back in fire at will mode. Anything that comes in range must die. Yeah, those we can turn these guys both back on fire at will, I suppose, because the enemies that are left are worth killing. I can't believe that their lord is still alive. Our great fighters are really embarrassing themselves here. The skinks on the back of the thing are now throwing poison javelins at him as well. Okay, finally. Don't want to have to deal with that guy anymore. We'll have these guys escort them off the map. All back. So that's a unit of clan rats. Okay, here's where we're definitely doing rock drops on the storm vermin. I would love it if we could have cleaned up their ranged troops a little bit more effectively. Do we have what kind of range do we have on these guys? I believe if you tell a unit to attack something while they're in guard mode and they're slightly out of range, they'll move forward into range to attack it, but they won't follow it if it backs up, which is exactly the behavior I'm looking for here. None of this stuff is super dangerous to us. I mean, I probably want to save some of this fire for like the rat ogres. I don't want to expend all of their ammo, but I really do want to get rid of those poison slingers. That's a problem. I guess this is the time to start moving the flying units forward. Let's have the normal pterodon riders go after the poison slingers. Let's have you... never mind that order, just go here. Be in fire at will mode, but just wait there. And I guess they don't have any ranged units in the new stuff, right? Yeah, let's just... let's move our explosive guys forward. Let's start getting to work on these units. The rat ogres are mostly unarmored. They'll be very vulnerable to the normal pterodon rider fire. I'm going to have our skink chief immediately go after their new lord. By the way, because this lord is on a mount like this, he counts as a large unit, so all of our anti-large stuff will be good against him, which is probably very good for us. And I think everybody else just keep waiting. All the flying units need to come forward. Oh, we still have the Ripperdactyl guys. We definitely have not wanted to engage with them yet, but they'll be getting in here soon. And I suppose this would be an okay time to try some of our magic. There's probably going to be another wave. I think there's going to be another wave. So we don't want to blow everything here, but we do have to take this storm vermin very seriously. Major magical damage over a small strike area, good against artillery pieces, strong versus multiple combatants, good against armor. Okay, I think we want to try a Rod of the Storm out on the storm vermin as well, but it sounds like we maybe want to wait until they engage, wait until they're stationary. So I guess the spellcaster can just keep waiting back here. Alright, flying units in. Here comes some Skaven to absorb a small amount of fire from these guys. And yep, even more enemy reinforcements, as I thought. A Skaven Warlock Master. Alright, who's got rocks? We need some rocks. These are the storm vermin. I do wish we had more proper artillery in this army. Oh dear. Some kind of Skaven bell magic is occurring. The Skaven are way into bells for some reason. I'm not really sure where that comes from. A lot of the Skaven... There's definitely like a bunch of Skaven traits that are just like, here's what a rat is like, but exaggerated. I don't know, the bells... Bells are not a rat thing, as far as I'm aware. They decided not to move? Oh, I think we've been tempested. I think that's what this is. Yeah, so our guys are caught in a... They're caught in a howling warp gale, which is preventing them from moving. That's a little inconvenient. The good news is, storm vermin are running right under some of the flyers. Yeah, like actually a rock drop here is still pretty effective. And we're getting some warp lightning. Okay, the rat ogres charge the temple guard, which is probably good for us, because charge defense and also anti-large. Carnosaur can help out with that. Over here, we just have some normal clan rats. I'm not too stressed about that one. Especially because if they get in, we're just gonna hit them with... the Ripperdactyls. You guys can come back. You do a fine job. Yeah, these communion skanks are close enough that they are definitely poisoning the enemies as they enter melee, which I like a lot. Starting to get to work on this guy, but it's going to take a minute. And over here we can see... Okay, this is the real shit. They got a unit of warp lightning cannons. They got a bunch of weapons teams. Mostly rattling guns. So not super long range, but extremely dangerous. Guarded by storm vermin with swords and shields. They do have some Jezzails. Doom flayers, which are like tiny doom wheels, and then doom wheels, which are like normal-sized doom wheels. Yeah, okay. Well, the good news is, this whole army, at least what we can see of it right now, like as a group, is pretty bad at actual upfront combat. We managed to get some health off of that Hell Pit Abomination. Not as much as I would have liked, actually. Well, we need to get some Saurus Spears in on that. We need to probably not, at this point, shoot it with the Salamanders. Salamanders probably ought to be focused on the little guys, especially those little guys. Let's have the Salamanders started on the Storm Vermin. It would have been a good idea to shoot the Hell Pit Abomination with the Salamanders as soon as it entered range. Oops. I got a little distracted. Let's get the Ripperdactyls over here, because it looks like they'll be needed. And it's definitely time for the Skink Priest to start doing stuff. Wissen's Wild Form on these guys, up their armor and their weapon damage. Is probably a good idea. It's a good start. And what are we going to do with our flyers? Looks like the Warp Gale has ended. Who has rocks left? This unit, for some reason, only gets one rock. Do we want rocks for the weapons teams? Do I need to save? Maybe we should save the last two drops for the weapons team. The last two big drops. We still have his weapon, which we can totally go and use over here. I'm going to go drop this on the Storm Vermin to try to slow him down. Okay, just keep them slow. First unit of rat ogres driven out. Where's the other one? Gotta keep an eye on that. They're not good units, but they're still big and heavy, and they charge really hard. And you can do a lot of damage with a big, heavy, hard charge. Turn around and throw some explosives at these ranged units. Are any of these the dangerous ones? Not really. And then I'm going to have all of the normal Pterodon riders starting on the boss. Starting on their lord. Listen, I played a lot of video games, okay? I got the brain rot a little bit. So we definitely don't want to have the Ripperdactyls be the ones who engage on the clan rats, but clan rats are not super scary. Let's go Spear Riders over here. I think we're doing an okay job against the Hell Pit Abomination. Man, these spears took a huge amount of damage really quickly. Let's see if we can get them to disengage and fight on that side. Blessed Stegodon. These just keep fighting that Hell Pit Abomination. Get our Ripperdactyl riders over on the backside of this. What I really want is for these... I was kind of hoping that the clan rats were going to engage on the Carnosaur when it got close to them. Okay, well, we'll just do this then. Surprise! I don't know what their like weird flanking maneuver there was about, but it has not worked out in the way they were hoping for. Let's see if we can do some damage to this dude. We have nothing explosive aimed at him, except, I guess, the salamanders, who should probably go back on hold your fire mode. They're almost out of shots, which is bad. If Lord Croak is going to help us at any time, this might be a good time. So somebody's got to go back and kill the Warp Lightning Cannon. Warp Lightning Cannons are extremely dangerous. These clan rats are pretty close to breaking. I think we got those guys under control. Why don't you push those guys off the side of the board? It shouldn't take much. I think I'm going to send the Ripperdactyls back there because it looks like the rest of their units are separating. Yeah, I bet the Ripperdactyls will be fine to do that as soon as these units are broken. He's got to back off. I do not want you in melee. Actually, you know what? Maybe the Stegodon should turn around and help with these rat ogres, because the red-crested skinks are not well suited to this task. They should run. Actually, they should just hit those guys in the back, I guess. So do we want to spend the last of our salamander ammunition pushing the rat ogres back? Salamanders will be basically useless against the weapon teams. Ooh, also, we're starting to take Jezzail fire already, I think. Where are the Jezzails? Which ones are those? Yep, we totally are. Look at the range on those things. So what we should probably do is have some of these flying units spread out and try to drag the Jezzail's targeting cones off to the side. It'll mean we're not focusing quite so hard on their Gracier anymore, but that's not, I think, a big deal. Are you still... Do you remember that I told you to fight that guy? Okay, there you go. He's on it. He'll get there. We could, I suppose, just have these units fly out to the side. I'm a little worried that as soon as they get in range of the Rattling guns, it'll get bad, which is why I was kind of hoping to use somebody who's not currently in front of them. Plus, I think that the Colossadon hunters will actually do a better job. Let's just have the flyers head off to the side, try to drag the Jezzail firing cones out. Alright, with those guys being permanently broken, you guys can back up. Right, we still have a lot of... They're getting rat ogred a little bit. I'm going to just press the don't die button. Probably I should be pressing that button more frequently, because it actually does have a pretty short cooldown. Okay, Lord Croak has awakened. That's good. His Eternal Guardians will be at hand. I love Guardians. I love it when people guard me. We've uncovered hidden foes. Oh, some of the gutter runners got away temporarily. So what do we want to do about this? We have, actually very little ranged. These weapons teams are definitely getting all of the magic. Actually, a Manticore will be really good. Once the weapons teams are kind of in place, just drop a Manticore on them. And in fact, we could do that on some of these Jezzails right now, right? Like, if the spell is pretty short range, though. I don't want him to get killed by weapons teams. But let's do that. Let's send him over here and try to get him close enough to drop a Manticore on top of some Jezzails. Over here we have a Blessed Carnosaur fighting some clan rats. That's totally fine. Tiktaq'to is fighting nobody, but he gets distracted easily. I mean, he can certainly beat some rat ogres. I know he has had problems in the past, but he can definitely beat rat ogres. We're pretty far from any meaningful enemy melee units being over here, so maybe this would be a good time to temporarily send these Saurus Spears in to help finish off the stuff we're seeing over here. Anti-large, very relevant in this case. Oh god, reinforcements have arrived. So blue-colored troops are troops that are on our team, but are not under our direct control. So lots and lots of temple guards. Maybe the smart play now is fall back. Just get behind the friendlies. Maybe, yeah. Let's have all of our melee units fall back and get behind the friendlies. Let them absorb some casualties. Now that they've finally shown up. So, who do we have here? We have Tic-Tac-Toe selected. Yeah, you know, everybody just get against the wall. This does not include any of the flying units except Tic-Tac-Toe, which is fine. Everybody else has a job. Everybody else is doing stuff. I'm going to keep the Skink Chief out for the moment. We'll see if that turns out to be a bad idea. Let's keep an eye on what's going on over here. Velocodon Riders are taking more enemy fire than I was hoping for. Oof. Yeah, they're really getting chewed up pretty badly here. Right, get me a Manticore in roughly this location. The Warp Lightning Cannons are after them as well. Go faster, guys. Let's summon some of this Warp Lightning. Okay, that was something. Are you going? Okay, there we go. Cooldown on that is pretty long. What are these guys shooting at right now? Okay. Oh, yep, Rattling Guns. Rattling Guns are in. It's a good time for you guys to back out. Oh dear, the Carnosaur is rampaging. That's pretty bad, actually. Also, Tic-Tac-Toe did, like, just completely disregarded orders and has stayed in. Tic-Tac-Toe is gonna die, probably. How do we fix that? I don't have control of him. He's in fleeing mode. So hopefully he'll actually flee. I think what we probably want to do here is drop some rocks. Like, who has rocks? One, this side has rocks. My plan was to rock weapons teams. But maybe we have to do something a little bit different here, because we got to save some lives. Get over here. Give them buffs. Just try to rock drop to clear out some of the storm vermin. Fight those guys. We gotta keep an eye on what's happening over here. So let's go. Overcast Amber Spear on those dudes. The Ripperdactyls are in full retreat, having not actually reached the Warp Lightning Cannons, which sucks. Yeah, half of the unit got killed right as they got there. That's frustrating. How's the Manticore doing? Okay, well, I mean, they're running. That's a good start. I'll be honest with you. I'm not super impressed with this Manticore's performance so far. You guys have a rock. It's definitely needed. You know, if Tic-Tac-Toe really wanted to run away, it seems like he could run straight up. Straight up would be pretty effective. Oh, God. My plan was to fly over here and drop bombs on these dudes, but we are maybe not going to make it over there. Their projectiles are very large and impressive looking. Okay. So our ally is through. I am at this point comfortable with us walking back forward. Oh, hey, Lord Croak himself. Wow. That's a thing that's occurring there. Weird. Okay. Let's move back up into support positions. I'm fine with being up here. We should participate in the battle. We should just let our ally take some hits, because I am suffering right now. Okay, and then we have some flyers left who have some ammunition. I want to attack the weapons teams. I'm just terrified that we'll die before we get there. One of you attack that guy, one of you attack that guy. Who else do we have over here in the air? There's just a couple of... Yeah, a couple of normal guys. Alright, a couple of normal units of pterodons. You and you. We gotta get those Rattling Gun teams down. The Manticore is chasing people at least. We are very close to being able to summon the second Manticore. This will lower speed and accuracy, actually. Yeah, let's lower the speed and accuracy of these units over here. Have the Colossadon Hunters, the remaining Colossadon Hunters, get back in here. As soon as they, like, engage, my plan was to hit the Toad Rage. But they do have to actually engage for that to work. Give me another one of these. Actually, probably both the teams of Jezzails need a Manticore. Yeah, our Pterodon Riders didn't even make it over there. We've got them running though. At least they're afraid. How's Tiktaq'to doing? Tiktaq'to is still officially in fleeing mode, but he's not suffering quite so much anymore. You guys are functionally pretty close to useless. We certainly can't have them, like, land and engage in melee, so just back out, I guess. You still have a little bit of ammo. Like, what's the thing that he needs to be fighting the most now? These Rat Ogres are still here, but Rat Ogres are pretty bad once their charge bonus wears off. So maybe the Doom Wheel? Poisoning the Doom Wheel, provided that the pilot of the Doom Wheel getting poisoned does the thing we hope it does. That's probably the smart play. This guy probably needs to... It's probably okay for him to be, like, in combat with most of these things, but the Storm Vermin with the Halberds will fuck him up. I'd really love it if he could get out behind the blue dudes. We do not have a lot of Salamander ammo left, and it all goes onto those Storm Vermin. And then the Chameleon Skanks just need to get close enough to shoot poison. Keep distributing the poison. Flying troops are doing the thing flying troops need to do. Do we want the Pok Hopak cohort to just run at a gun team? If the gun team sets its feet and fires back, we'll be annihilated. But if they were able to get in, they'd probably do some pretty good work, right? Or, I think probably the smarter play is we come over here and we try to hit something in the back. You're out. You're in for the moment. You have the ability to go really fast. And you can... Here. Can you cast Cold-Blooded on Tiktaq'to and get his leadership high enough for me to be able to give him direct orders? Because that would be really helpful. This thing where he's panicking, but not so hard that he leaves combat with the... leaves melee combat with the enemy is not okay. And then I think I'm going to try to drop... I'm going to try to rock drop on one of the actual groups of weapon team guys here. I totally got him. That was awesome. Okay. That's another unit of Jezzails that is currently not being harassed. The Ripperdactyls, we've got this under control. We have no winds of magic. Oh, I have Rattling Guns coming. Back up, back up. So do we want to send some of the Fire Leech dudes through? We probably have to, right? I can't just let the Jezzails pick us apart. And I almost want him to get into melee. Like, just so that there's something on those dudes. Probably not a good idea, right? I back these guys off because they're out of ammo, but you know what? I think I'm going to have them run forward and maybe drop on a weapons team. I know that is not what they're for, but they may be necessary. Alright, looks like the Temple Guards have the Doomflayer's attention. Let's have these guys turn around and fight. It'd be really cool if you could finish off that Greyseer, because I think he's not their only caster, but he has different spells than the Warlock Master does, and we should try to deny them some of their spells. You guys are actually not going to be able to hit anything at all from that angle, so just back off like this. I know I'm super micromanaging our units probably more than I need to be. Just trying to make sure that we don't fail this now. Get back over here and try to help people out. I'd love it if we get the Carnosaur to back up. I'm so worried about it getting caught in Rampage state again. Here, go fight those Doomflayers. You can do that. Alright, I'm contributing poison. I'm contributing stuff. Tiktaq'to made it out of the fight, which is cool. But now this Doom Wheel is a problem. You guys are anti-large. Get that Doom Wheel. I'm going to try to tighten up our formation here, and then we're going to hit these Storm Vermin on the side. Ooh. I hate that. I hate the way that looks. Okay, so who are these? These are the Fire Leech Bola guys who... I don't know which ones those are. Okay, we permanently broke the Warp Lightning Cannons. It is probably best for the Colossedon Hunters to just get out of here now. Go hide behind the pillar or something. A lot of their units are permanently broken. We're totally winning. This seems like a great opportunity for the next Rod of the Storm use. Maybe right about there. Basically, I just want to hit this charge and then back out immediately. I'm just trying to break down their leadership. That helps. They didn't like that. Alright, so how are you guys doing? We've killed one of the Rattling Weapons teams. Gonna get that other one. I would really hate to lose one of our Fire Leech Bola squads, and it looks like that is going to happen, which is a shame. But in exchange for Lord Croak, it's not so bad. Alright, the red-crested skinks can keep those guys running. The Carnosaur's too important. He needs to get back in. Yeah, like that Doom Flayer there. That Doom Flayer there needs to get dealt with. Oh, I think they're mostly... they're breaking pretty badly. I think we're close. Get him. We are all fighting the wrong guys. Those are Storm Vermin. Get these Pterodon Riders off the ground. And the Manticores have rotted out. Look at how little damage the Manticores did to two completely unguarded units of weapons teams. Alright, maybe this is a bad idea, but they're facing away. I'm gonna have these guys come over and attack them. Okay, neither one of them is actually aiming at the Blessed Pterodon Riders. I'm wondering if maybe maybe we should move the Pterodon Riders this way, try to draw these guys' attention away from the Ripperdactyls. Or maybe I should do this. Let's try to get the Blessed Pterodon Riders out of harm's way. Because if we lost the Blessed Fire Leech units, that'd be a huge pain in the ass. Those are our best flyers. Other guys we can be a little bit more cavalier with. Okay, the good news is Blue's units are starting to absorb a fair amount of fire. Alright, we got their attention. Don't seem to realize what's coming for them. Have our skink hero go after these guys, and we should probably do it pretty quickly. He should get to the other side of them and fight them from the back. I'm seeing some spellcasting going on. It's not super clear to me exactly what Lord Croak is doing, but there's definitely some spellcasting happening. Oh, I think we just saw the break. Well, that was not easy. The Carnosaur is on this side of the battle now somehow. He is way too fast. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure that we win that battle without the Carnosaur and the Stegodon. Like, they were both pretty important. The Carnosaur in particular has 173 kills. Like, we might have gotten really, really lucky with those early Blessed Spawnings, especially considering that we now know that Blessed Spawnings can give you just, like, normal Saurus warriors. Okay, so good work, everybody. We killed an awful lot of Skaven. And hopefully that was the end. I think there are some quest chains that have you do more than one quest battle. I would really love it if we could just have our huge, terrifying super wizard. Looks like we lost the red-crested skinks, but remember, our regiments of renown never actually die all the way. They just in 10 turns, we'll be able to summon a new instance of them. So, it sucks to lose high veterancy units, but you never really lose these guys. And the rest of us came through it just fine, actually. Well, just fine is strong, but alive anyway. Man, it was only 285 losses. I guess we showed up to the battle. Our full army was fewer than 700 bodies. Lizardmen are a lot different than the last couple of factions I played. Especially like Skaven and Vampire Pirates. When you show up to a battle with a full stack, that's like 3,000 dudes. Okay, well that's awfully nice. We probably want to take the recovery. I guess we're crouched in a safe place in our own territory. We can just heal up naturally. I don't want to lower casualty replenishment, so it's like, do I want less than a turn worth of replenishment more than I want 100 XP? Probably not. Probably the XP is right. We've achieved victory over Skaven multiple times. Boy, ain't that the truth. And 2,000 more gold. Alright, we got him. Lord Croak with his Standard of the Sacred Serpent. Big casualty replenishment rate to his army. He's a hero, not a lord. Causes terror when fighting against Chaos and Norska. There's probably a good reason for that. I don't really know the lore behind Lord Croak. He also has the Glyph of Potek, which gives him considerable weapon strength against undead units. And 5% ward save for his accompanying lord. So ward save is just flat damage reduction. This is just 5% less damage from everything for the lord of his army. He has a golden death mask. -9 melee attack for all enemies within 55 meters of him at all times. That's pretty cool. Amulet of Itza. A little bit more casting ability and some magic resist. A ceremonial malachite mace. 5% magic resistance for everybody in the army is cool. Okay, so wait, where is he? Oh, he is right here. Well, that's a pretty cool looking, you know, as far as the dead frogs go, that's a pretty cool looking dead frog. So I probably want him to be in Yarick's army, right? Hold on, let's have a look at him. What spells does he have? The Supreme Shield of the Old Ones. 44% damage resistance for all friends within 40 meters? Really? It's an 18-second duration and only a 120-second cooldown. The Deliverance of Itza. Huge, massive magical explosions. Okay, and there's several levels of it. How does this work, I wonder? I guess we just get to choose because they have different costs. So you might not want to always do the big one. He's unbreakable. I assume he's a legendary character, so he's probably immortal. Oh wow, and at rank 15 he can get instant respawn. He seems okay. He seems like an alright dude. So I'm going to put him in, I think, this army. Join up. Okay. And the reason for that is what I said before. I want to spread out our extremely powerful things. Like, we have a lot of our best units in Tiktaq'to's army. Okay, so what is the right red skill to take now? Skinks and Croxagors. Okay, Cold One, Pterodon Rider, and Ripperdactyl units get attack, defense, and missile resistance. I do like missile resistance on our Pterodon Riders. I have to say I don't think that this skill is as good as the veterancy red skills for most units. Dinosaurs get attack and charge bonus and leadership. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, like 12% weapon strength and 10 armor and 15% magic resist is a way better, because you're actually going to use all those stats. Oh well, let's take Soulbound. We're here, we may as well get it. This guy, do we want him to swap onto a Stegodon? Like, he'll be able to have more effect on the battle on the ground. Right now, it feels like he's not really doing anything until he has built up enough damage to kill the enemy lord. And on Stegodon back, he would have access to that, he'd have access to that big crossbow and stuff. I think we'll just stick to yellow line skills for him, though, for now. if we're going to put him on the ground, we're going to put him on an Ancient Stegodon, and he's only a couple levels away from earning that, and this Stegodon is not a prereq for that one. Let's grab him some missile resistance, actually. Starting to face forces that are a little bit more competent. So we got a couple of turns of chilling out, 10 turns until we can get these guys back. Do we want to swap anything back into his army, or do I want to hold all this stuff with Yarrick? I think holding on to this stuff with Yarrick is actually pretty reasonable. So let's just... Oh, right, we have no local recruitment buildings. Well, we know we're sitting still for 2 turns anyway, so we can afford to pull something from the global pool. I guess... Hold on. What actually do we want these armies to look like? Because we could swap a couple things back under Yarrick's control and then have Tiktaq'to hire even more things. Yarrick has the caster. He has no dinosaurs, and I want to keep the Carnosaur with this army. This is like the really aggressive army. The Stegodon probably actually is better under Yarrick's control. Although Yarrick has all of these flyers, so Yarrick's way better at dealing with artillery already. Probably the Stegodon serves a good purpose in Tiktaq'to's army. Maybe I do pretty much just want to keep it like this. This army is very skink heavy, which it can afford to be because it's not going to need to fight as much on the ground because it has a superior number of flyers. You know, maybe the armies are just fine like this. So we'll put you into encampment mode 2, and we'll just have both of the armies sit still for 2 turns and refill. We will get Sauruses, don't worry, it's happening. But it's not happening right this second. I'll just grab another unit of red-crested skinks to hold out until... And you... I think I'm going to grab 2 units of salamanders for him. Okay, and then we still have the money necessary to upgrade this thing. And 1,200 gold. I probably want to build tech buildings. Like, we want to get a weapon crafters commune so that we can make the good stuff. Do we want to install a Saurus building here, or do I want to wait until we're ready to build one in Alhaik? Gonna be a few more turns, huh? We do have this open slot in Bel Aliad, and Bel Aliad doesn't really have a building that it can make that will give us a huge boost to money. Like, we could build another stone marker, I guess. But maybe it's a good idea to just temporarily, because they're cheap and fast to build, just put up a Saurus recruitment building here for the moment. I guess if we're going to put one up, do we want to put one in the Black Tower instead so that we could get temple guards out of it? Do we intend to keep it around that long? Khemri is where we're going to locate a lot of our recruitment buildings eventually. Maybe I do just want to build the stone marker. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about Sauruses just yet. The Great Desert of Araby is going to be a very dollars-focused region. Okay, and who else is left? Uldov Warren has a thing to do. Let's go down the Elven coast. I bet that Ulthuan is mostly controlled by Lothairn at this point, although it is kind of crazy to me that Krace is still around. We can see here Nagaraith. I believe Nagaraith starts on this continent. And Dark Elves. Wow, the Cult of Pleasure has expanded pretty far south. I believe they start, like, way up here. So I guess we have some idea of how that continent's going. Say very poorly for anyone who's not a Dark Elf. And you still have some movement left, right? Let's go all the way down to the corner. I believe that the playable faction of Lizardmen down here start all the way in the corner. So I would like to meet them if we can. Especially if things are not going super well for them and they think that we are a superior force and they would accept an offer of confederation into us. That would give us a staging ground to work on the parts of this area that we have to control to win the game. And then we can finally turn our eyes northwards. There's a lot of territory that that we don't necessarily need to own up here, but because we do need to own or be militarily allied with the owners of 8 of the world capitals, we're going to have to get out here somewhere. We should probably actually, like, get a sense of which 8 we're aiming for. They're like the Empire capital and the Bretonnian capital are pretty close together. They're not that far away from us. But I don't know if there are any other cities that are on the list that are over here. Like probably Western Sylvania, which is around here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. Probably that counts. That's like the vampire capital. You know what? There's a big orc settlement around here that probably counts. Carrick 8 Peaks might. It might be the case that we don't want to go this way at all, but instead we want to head up into the Badlands and the mountains over there. I kind of can't believe everybody's just sitting around letting Numas raid them. Like, if you're in control of the Black Pyramid of Nagash here, and this guy's raiding your territory, so he's not only is he making money, but he's reducing the amount of money you're getting. You can see their income from all buildings minus 100% in the region. And also he's inflicting a public order penalty and stuff. Why do you not just declare war on him? That seems very strange to me. But alright, I mean, they don't have to worry too much. We'll be there to help them in just a few moments. I guess we're probably going to run one more cycle of enemy turns, because I think we're going to do almost nothing on our next turn. And then we can start the next video with our armies back in good shape, but this time with Lord Croak around. I'm very eager to use him in combat. I'm interested in seeing what exactly they mean by a huge explosion that does massive magical damage. Those are very promising words, but a little imprecise. Alright, elves are fighting over magic elf swords, you know, as they are wont to do. Oh, hold on, actually search these ruins. Okay, no Skaven, just an actual search puzzle. Throughout the world, the Old Ones left vast troves of power for use by their most trusted servants. To prevent such power falling into the wrong hands, they placed wards and cryptographic locks over them. As millennia have passed, these wards have weakened, but the arcane locks remain. To access the treasure, solve the puzzle. Solitude is always desired. Well, I mean, the first thing I see is that there's only one symbol that is purple. Although there is more than one of that symbol. This button is a thing that where the color is not unique, but that symbol is unique. This is doubled up both in symbol and color. This is doubled up both in symbol and in color. So this is a little awkward. Right, like there's no way to know which one of these it is. Do they mean solitude of symbol or solitude of color? I guess we just have to pick one? Yeah, alright, I'll pick the one that this is the only one of this color. Nope, that's not what they wanted. Some of those puzzles are not great, because they have multiple valid solutions like that. What are we going to do with this guy? After he finishes his task here, I guess he's going to run around and be a map action hero for a while, so yeah, let's pick up map action stuff. Oh, he has another skill point. Here, get better at things. Action success chance up, action cost down. Just sort of broadly better at stuff. Our priest has leveled up. Let's get a little bit more Winds of Power Reserve, and then next level we'll be able to take Arcane Conduit, which is going to mean he's going to get to cast a lot more in combat. Alright, so yep, this army will be back in full fighting shape next turn. These guys are almost full. I really do like the Salamanders. I think they're very cool. I'm pleased to have a moment of downtime here to recruit some more of them. Okay, that's no new information at all. And then we should probably cap off Sorcerer's Islands. So we're kind of close to being done with developing these areas. It is kind of nice to take over areas where the AI had already built them up quite a bit. We don't have to build from zero population. Okay, so we'll run this cycle of enemy turns, and then we'll stop for the day. The push on the Black Pyramid of Nagash, I think, is going to be pretty successful. Should be able to lightning strike our way through those two armies pretty effectively. And then we can just have Tiktaq'to's army serve as a backup. Have Yarrick and Lord Croak lead the assault on the Black Pyramid, so that we get to see Lord Croak really in action. Also, the army with the greater number of flyers is just better suited to attacking a settlement. Maybe we'll want to swap one of the dinosaurs into his army for that, though, so that they have a way of breaking the gate. Because right now that army could not, I think, attack that settlement the same turn they engage with it. Oh, weird. Carcassonne declared war on everyone. The Greenskins, the Bloody Hands, and the Vampire Counts are all very large and powerful factions right now, I believe. So this seems like a super strange thing to do. Especially since Carcassonne should have no direct contact with the Vampire Counts or the Greenskins or the Bloody Hands. Carcassonne is like on that Bretonnian coast, we saw them briefly. The Bloody Hands and the Greenskins are going to be over here, and the Vampire Counts are going to be over here. And so, like, Hawkland versus the Empire, that makes a little bit more sense. At least there's going to actually be conflict in that. I don't know. Who can predict the behavior of the AI? Sometimes they just do completely insane things. Like, remember when the Vanaheimlings declared war on us? Still haven't seen a single Vanaheimling. I guess, there's something... You can generate positive diplomatic stance by being at war with the same people, I think. So maybe Carcassonne did this because some of their, they're trying to get to be better friends with the Empire, and the Empire is at war with these people or something. I guess there are potential reasons. Not that I necessarily think these things were done for a reason, but there are potential reasons. Okay, well, that is not what I thought we were going to get done today, but we did get some things done today. Oh, hey, and we're finally done interpreting the Old One's meaning. Probably Lord Croak helped us out with that a little bit. So we've unlocked a whole bunch of new text to pursue. Yeah, not a lot of progress on what I thought were our goals, but we did some very important stuff today. So that's going to be it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, when we put our new friend to use, and we'll see you then.